So yeah, I didn't buy many books, and that's good. That's good because I have enough of them that I haven't read on my shelves. I would like actually to do a sort of counting how many books I have on my physical TBR kind of video, so let me know if you would like that. But yeah, today we're just talking about fantasy books. Let's get into it. So let's actually start with the books that I think I've already showed you in a video, but it was not like an official haul. Anyways, it's a duology. So this is Rachel Gillig's Shepherd King duology. The first book is One Dark Window. One Dark Window. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I absolutely love this cover. Like, it's giving me all the right vibes. And this tiny little drop of red. Oh, amazing. I love the gold foiling on the edges as well. Amazing. And when books have a spine that matches the cover, I'm a sucker for that. So this is a gothic fantasy. This is the first book of the duology, and I just, there's something about duologies that is just so perfect, you know, because you have the two books to read, but when one is not enough, you know, you will have a second one, and then that's the end of it, and I love it. I haven't read very many duologies in the past. I've always been like kind of a long series kind of girly, especially when I get obsessed with something. I like to spend like a lot of time in it and with those characters. So yeah, but a duology just sounds amazing because yeah, you get enough, but you're not like investing your whole life into it. So yeah, I particularly cannot wait to read this fall, because I don't know, just something about this duology calls my name in those like more gloomy kind of months, you know, when it's gloomy out and it's cloudy and it's rainy. I feel like this will be perfect for that time of the year in the following months. I've never really read a gothic fantasy, so that really, I don't know, it's intriguing. I'm curious about it. And yeah, the concept of this book sounds so good, so magical, and the magic system. Everyone says that Rachel Gillig writes very unique magic systems, and even just for that, I cannot wait to dip my toes into her writing. So yeah, really excited about this. That's the first book, and then we have the second one, which is sharp claws and teeth. It's crazy how I buy books based on, you know, what I hear about them online, the tropes I hear, the synopsis, and what kind of intrigues me, right? But I never stop and read like the quotes here, the blurbs. I never really stop and read them. If I know that I'm going to enjoy it, I just buy the book. I don't care. I stop and read the blurbs when I am in a bookstore, just browsing and trying to find books that I haven't heard about, obviously. But when I heard about the book and I feel like I'm going to enjoy it, I just buy it without reading the blurb, the quotes, etc. And then when I do stop and read them, for example, for a video like this, I'm always like, I get so excited. But let's read the blurb for One Dark Window. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, she is thrust into a world of shadow and deception. Together, they embark on a dangerous quest to cure the town of Blunder from the dark magic impacting it. As the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly, darkly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. Excuse me. Okay, I did not know that there was like a romance with. I expected there to be some kind of romance, but I didn't know it was with the nightmare. And that's what it sounds like from this blurb, right? Anyways, excuse me. Okay, I'm even more excited about this, and it's only 2 books, so I kind of have no excuse, do I? So I know, like, the blurb that doesn't really talk about the magic system. So what I know about these books is also that there's very unique magic system involving cards. Like, there's this deck of cards that is magical, and each card will have its own magic and will do different things. And so she tries to collect them, but they are very hard to come by and very sought after. So there's different groups of people trying to get all these cards for different reasons, and I feel like that's the part that intrigues me the most about this book. And I don't know, I find it sad that they didn't include it in the blurb, but that is the Shepherd King duology. this author, but I find it really intimidating, so I didn't want to, spend my money on these books, because I don't know if I'm going to like them, so I was happy to find it for free in this little free library. No promises. If you're watching this and you really like this author and this series and you want me to read it, let me know, but I cannot promise you that I'm going to, or I don't know when I'm even going to touch these books, because it's a long ass series. Each book is very long and it's like a whole universe. It's like, okay, I have other priorities for now, but yeah, I found this book, I brought you home. Mistborn. It's book 111 in the Mistborn series saga. I don't really know how many books there are in this series by Brandon Sanderson. And Brandon Sanderson is kind of like, in my head, the male Sarah J. Maas, where he has a lot of books. It's fantasy and they are all kind of interconnected from what I know. Like there's this whole universe, which I don't remember how it's called, but the Cosmere universe. So it's in my head, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've heard, it's kind of like Sarah J. Maas, where all her series are existing in the same universe. So that is kind of intimidating to even think about starting these books, because it comes with a lot of baggage. It comes with, like, it's a big investment, mental and energetical investment, and I still haven't read any Sarah J. Maas book. I know, you can come at me. Yes, it's fair enough, especially as a fantasy lover. I've been intimidated, honestly, and one of my goals for the rest of the year is to read ACOTAR. And once again, please hold me accountable to that if you see that I don't by the end of the year. Just scream at me, please and thank you. But yeah, I found this in a little free library. I've had some people that I know in real life tell me that they didn't like it, or that they liked the first book and they didn't go on with the series. So we'll see, I guess. We'll see, because to each their own taste, you know what I mean. But yeah, I have no idea when I'm going to read this, and yeah, I'm absolutely putting zero pressure on myself to read this. It's just nice to know that I found it. It's kind of a nice memento. You know, I like to buy a book everywhere I go when I travel as kind of a souvenir, and then I will write on the first page. I will write on the first page where I bought it and when. So I see here, there's like all the books of the Mistborn saga. We have Mistborn, the Well of Ascension, the Hero of Ages, the Alloy of All of Love, Shadow 1,000 years the Ska slaved in misery and lived in fear. For 1,000 years the Lord Ruler reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror, divinely invincible. Every attempted revolt has failed miserably, yet somehow hope survives. A new kind of uprising is being planned, one that depends on the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind and the courage of an unlikely heroine, a Ska Street urchin, who must learn to master allomancy, the power of a mistborn. What if the prophesized hero had failed to defeat the Dark Lord? The answer will be found in the Mistborn trilogy, a saga of surprises that begins here. Okay, so wait, it's a trilogy. That's kind of confusing. If someone has read these books, please let me know what's the deal. But sounds interesting, sounds a bit dystopian, so I like that. But yeah, that was Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Moving on. Next. We have actually cozy fantasy that I'm really excited about because it's a witchy sort of fantasy, and I think I've talked about these books in other videos about the cozy season. I was at the bookstore like a couple of days ago and I was looking for a specific book that was not there, sold out, whatever. But this one was there, and the second book of this interconnected standalones kind of thing series just came out, but it was a different format, and that pissed me off. You know, why are we publishing paperbacks in like a big hardback format? So I only bought the first book because of that, but I'm really looking forward to reading the second one as well, like having the whole series. So this is rewitched. Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. And yeah, the cover, stunning. She does like magic around her rose, like Belle in The Beauty and the Beast, and I believe she's called Belle. So there you go. And there's a kitty cat. So that makes my day. So this is Rewitched. It's the first installment in a interconnected standalone cozy fantasy witchy romance sort of series, and I don't know a lot about this book, but I do know it's about this girl who is a witch, but she's trying to hide her powers from what I know. And like the coven she comes from sort of goes to her and tells her she needs to learn how to properly use her magic, otherwise she will lose it, kind of thing. She owns a bookstore, or she works in a bookstore, or she's a librarian, something of the kind. And I don't really need to know much else, but as usual I will obviously read you the blurb. I just feel like the vibes this cover is giving are immaculate, and yeah, knowing cozy fantasy, witchy romance. It feels heartwarming because there's a bit of magic in there. So yeah. Anyways, let me read you the blurb. When the leaves fall, magic rises. Belladonna Blackthorn hasn't lost her magic spark, but she hasn't seen it in a while either. Balancing work at her beloved London bookshop, Lunar Books, with handling her toxic boss and concealing her witchcraft from those around her, Belle is burnt out. Perfecting the potential of her magic is the last thing on her mind. But when her 30th birthday brings a summons from her coven and a trial that tests her worthiness as a witch, Belle risks losing her magic forever. With only a month to fix things and a suspicion that dark forces may be working against her, Belle will need all the help she can get from the women in her life, from an unlikely mentor figure, and even from an infuriating coven watchman who's sworn to protect her. Can Belle reignite her spark before it's too late? Okay. Picking up on some elements there that I didn't know about. So I love how, first of all, she is older, in her 30s, and if this book is set in London during fall, I'm sold. You know what I mean? I'm so sold. I cannot wait to read this now. Like, it's not high on my priority list at all at the moment, but it sounds so wholesome, and there seems to be kind of a hate to love dynamic between, like, romance dynamic. I don't know, the female vibes. I love that. It's time to rediscover her magic. A mug of hot chocolate in book form. I love that. A mug of hot chocolate in book form. Hot chocolate is great for gloomy days as well. Pure cozy joy. Okay, so there we go. That was Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. Let me know if you've read any of these books, because I would be curious to see what you thought about them as well, obviously, as usual. Moving on. We have two books, actually, that I've been anticipating so much, and I don't know why I didn't buy them before, but I was kind of restricting myself. I was kind of like, don't think about them, but I finally cracked, and you know what, I couldn't be happier about it. So the first one in this stunning edition, I'm sorry, like, how beautiful is that with the gold foiling? This is Heavenly Bodies. Heavenly Bodies by Imani, Erriu. I'm sorry, Imani, I don't really know how to pronounce your last name. And I am so very jealous of whoever has the Fairy Loot edition of this book and the next one that is coming out in this duology. I believe it's a duology. I'm still on the waiting list for Fairy Lord. So I'm sad. I'm sad I will never get to have this and many others actually, but this was just the most stunning book ever for the Fairy Lord edition. But I do like the traditional cover as well. It's so fun with all this gold foiling and the constellations and the moon and the sun. It's really fun. So yeah, but you know, I like the spine too. It's simple, but I don't know, it does something for me. And I don't really know anything. I don't really know much about this book. I just know that some of my favorite people on the internet have loved it and rated it very highly. And I know that the magic system has something to do with like astrology maybe, or it's a very astronomical based magic system in any case. I don't know if it's necessarily astrology, which I'm not an astrology girly, but I am an astronomy girly. Like, I love everything that has to do with space. So yeah, this sounds really interesting, and that's really all I know about it. This is a fantasy romance, right? Yeah, or romantasy, I don't know. Anyways, I don't know which weighs the most, if it's the fantasy or the romance part of it, but it's a blend of the two in any case, so that's perfect for me. Sign me up. And I honestly don't know why I waited so long to get it, and I'm so excited to have it. I think this will be read very soon, because I'm in a fantasy mood, but I want a bit of romance still, you know, so you could say I'm in a big romantasy mood. Anyways, let me read you the blurb. In a world ruled by the stars, cruel and merciless gods, Alara has been cursed by fate. A prophecy promises she will fall for a star, but it will kill them both. When the star descends to hunt Alara, the neighboring kingdom sees an opportunity to steal her from her home, the kingdom of night, to Helios, the kingdom of light. There, Alara is forced to either let enemy Prince Lorenzo train her into a weapon worthy of battling against the stars, or to accept her fate. But there are shadows even within the kingdom of light, and they threaten to reveal the darkness in Lorenzo's past and the ancient magic that slumbers in Alara's veins, and with it all the undeniable star-crossed pull between them. What? I did not expect that. That sounds so unique and so good. You see what I mean when I say like I buy books just because I hear people talking about them and I don't really actually read the blurb, so I don't really actually know what they are about. This is what I mean, and I like doing this because it's kind of booktubers, I saw that she read it and she rated it very highly, and when she talked about it, she just convinced me to read it, you know what I mean? Because I don't know, like the themes she highlighted that kind of surprised her are amazing for me, and you will see why. I will explain, but in any case, so I was even more convinced about reading this. So when I went to the bookshop the other day, I looked for it for like 30 minutes. I'm not kidding. I couldn't find it. And then I don't know like how I was looking before, but at some point I just saw the spine. I was like, wait, that looks like it could be this, and it was the last one left on the shelf, the last copy. So I was over the moon. I think there was a fairy loot version of this too, but I absolutely adore the original cover. I love it. Anyways, it's a dance of lies. A Dance of Lies by Brittney. Look at that. It's a bit shiny. There's some gold foiling. Illustrations on the glass, like the images on the glass there and there. Incredible. The back is stunning too. Spine with the gold and with the flowers that spill over. Stunning work, no notes. So yeah, this is a fantasy romance that has that focuses a lot on dance. Like, it's on the title, but apparently it's also in the book for real. The main character, the female main character, is a dancer, and she's not just a dancer. As a fact, we get to see her dance apparently, and there's a lot of dances, and I love that as a dancer myself. So give me all of that. I love it. But once again, I've never read the blurb, so I don't really know what this book talks about. Just look at that. I love it. Pretty books are my drug. Anyway, I don't necessarily know exactly what it talks about, but I know there's a lot of court intrigue, and I like that a lot in fantasy. Anyways, let's read the blurb. I rise to the tips of my toes, then lean into my dance. My movement and range may be stilted, but I will find my poetry. Already? Sign me up. Vasily Moran was once a dancer in King Ilian's court until he framed her for murder. 2 long years in shackles leaves her broken and hopeless until she's suddenly called to face her king. He offers her a deal: pose as a dancer as the royal gathering, spy on his enemies, and he'll grant her freedom. Weasley's caught in the middle. If she is to survive, she must decide who to trust, who to fight for, and how much of her soul she's willing to damn in the process. Okay, excuse me, this is giving a tiny bit of Throne of Glass. I haven't read it yet, but I feel like the premise about her being like in prison and then the king giving her like a mission in exchange for freedom is reminiscent of the blurb of Throne of Glass. Correct me if I'm wrong once again. And also there's a bit of Powerless by Lauren Roberts in there. I feel like with the two brothers, bit of a love triangle maybe. I don't know, like sign me up, you know. I love a good love triangle. Anyways, that was A Dance of Lies. Let me know if you read it as usual, or if you're adding it to your TBR, because I think you should. Those were the books in this haul, the fantasy book I've gathered recently. I cannot wait to read. Let me know out of these ones which ones would be in your TBR, or which ones is your favorite if you've read all of them. Anyways, those are the books I wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this mini book haul, and that I maybe made your TBR longer. If not, well, I failed my mission, but I'm going to keep trying. I hope you enjoyed the video as usual. If you did, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you're not already. Join our Bookish family. I would love to have you here. And I hope to see you soon in the next one. Keep dreaming.